What is up and welcome to Maps on the Map. In my previous video, I talked about my experience flying business class with British Airways for the first time. One question that you all wanted to know was how much did I pay? Now, before we come on to how much I paid, I think it's important to talk about how I paid, how I saved, and how I got a buy one get one free business class seat.
You buy one, you get one free. I said you buy one, you get one free.
Now, I'm Indian man, and we're not about paying full price. I'm not about that full price life. I'm all about saving money and not spending stupid amounts on flights. In total, I managed to save a whopping £1,526 on these business class seats. So I managed to get a companion ticket or a buy one get one free ticket using the American Express Premium Plus credit card. And this is not a free credit card. And the rules have recently changed in September 2021. Prior to September, the credit card cost £195 a year. But since September, that has increased to £250 per year. Now, in order to get this companion ticket, this buy one get one free ticket, you have to be able to spend £10,000 in 1 year using this credit card. Now that is bare money. That is a lot of money for one person to spend. And so a top tip for you, what I did was I allowed my family to use the credit card to do weekly shops or make various purchases. And eventually these costs built up and I accumulated a £10,000 spend within a year, giving me a buy one get one free companion ticket. Now, an important thing to note is that the companion ticket lasts for 2 years. If you don't use it in 2 years, you lose it. Another thing about this ticket is that it doesn't have to be used on business class. It can also be used on economy class and first class. Now, there is also a free version of this card called the British Airways American Express credit card, but it's not as good in my opinion. Before September 2021, it was free and it still is a free card. Now, even though this is a free card, there are some drawbacks and the rules again changed in September 2021. Prior to September 2021, you had to spend £20,000 in a year. Whoa! £20,000 in a year. This would give you a economy, business class or first class seat for free, right? But now the rules have changed and I just don't think it's worth it anymore. So you have to spend £12,000, so that's good. The price that you have to spend to get a free ticket has come down, but you can't fly business class or first class. You can only fly economy class with buy one get one free. So if you do want to try out business class or first class, the free card isn't the card for you. You would want to get the British Airways Premium Plus card, that paid card for £250 a year. Now, another thing you might have heard about is Avios points. Which is quite complicated, and you'll start to realize me getting these business class seats was definitely not as straightforward as it sounds. There's lots of terms, lots of conditions, lots of little details that you have to pay attention to. Now, the free ticket has costs, so it's not completely free. So for 2 passengers, you pay taxes on both of the tickets, which isn't too bad, and I'll break down the cost later on in the video. But you can't just pay with cash, you have to pay with Avios points. And so when you go to buy the ticket, it will say you pay X amount for the taxes, but you also need to pay a certain number of Avios points. Now, you get Avios points by spending, so you'll automatically start to build up points slowly as you spend on the credit card. As an incentive, American Express for this Premium Plus paid card gives people a 25,000 point bonus if you spend £3,000 in the first 3 months. So another top tip, if you do want to get this credit card, get it around the time that you're going to make a significant purchase, because then you'll automatically get 25,000 points, which means you have to spend less when it comes to buying your business class seat. To make things more complicated, it's not like you can pick any seat on any flight on any date to any destination. British Airways releases a limited number of Avios seats per year. So 355 days before you wish to travel is when the seats come out. But there's not loads, there might be 2 seats, 3 seats, you know, it just varies. So if you want to travel on a specific date to a specific place and you have a companion ticket, you might not be able to use it. What I noticed was that if you check every day, which is a bit long, but if you're committed to it, if you check every day, you'll see that sometimes seats get released as the year goes on and then you can quickly grab a seat. Now for the bit you've all been waiting for. How much did I spend to fly business class with British Airways from London to Mexico and back for 2 people. So for 2 business class seats, I paid, drum roll please, £2,670.46. That works out at £1,335.23 per person. That's a lot of money, and I'm not saying it was cheap at all, but I did save over £1,500. So let's break this down. From general spending on the Amex card, as well as that 25,000 points bonus, I already saved up 87,500 points. Now you have to pay taxes on the seats, and that was £1,280 for 2 people. So there was the taxes at 1,280. I had 87,500 points, but that wasn't all. I had to buy an additional 85,000 points, which cost £1,390. So if you add £1,280 to £1,390, that equals £2,670, which is how much I paid. Now, the way I worked out that I saved over £1,500 was that I checked how much it cost to buy the same seats purely with cash, and to buy 2 business class return seats from London to Mexico, it would have cost me £4,196. That's ridiculous. Over 4K for 2 business class tickets is how much it would have cost me. So therefore, I saved a massive £1,526, which is decent. It's a lot of money, but it was a lot of effort, and it's not easy using these credit cards and booking these seats. So another tip that you can save money if you do want to experience business class is only flying business class one way. So I did the maths, and it was actually a lot more reasonable flying out economy than coming back home business class. And that would have cost me £1,710 versus the 2,670 quid that I spent to have a return flight in business class. So there are little hacks, there are little ways around it to save money but also experience the business class lifestyle. So £1,710 for a economy outgoing and business returning flight. I then looked on Skyscanner to see how this compared to a normal economy flight at the time. So if I was to fly economy with TUI, but from Birmingham Airport to Mexico and back, it would have cost me £1,834. So actually more money to fly economy than to fly economy and business class on the way back. If I would have bought 2 economy return tickets with British Airways, so without using the companion voucher, it would have cost me £1,529. So you can see that actually you can fly out economy but return business class for cheaper than economy using the American Express Premium Plus card and the companion voucher. So you've probably realized things aren't quite as straightforward as they seem. It's quite complicated actually.
I'm not sure I'm quite with you, old fruity.
So the best way for you to be able to understand how this works and for me to explain it is with a real life example, which I'll show you now. So you log into your British Airways Executive Club, which you get when you sign up to this credit card. And you can see here, I've got a American Express companion voucher. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna travel from London, which is basically where most of the British Airways flights go from. And where shall we fly to? Let's see if we can fly to Dubai. Flying business class or club class, and for 2 adults. Okay, so you can see that when you go to click 1st of June, okay, there's 7 business class flights. So let's click that. And then you want to return roughly a week later. So let's see if we can come back on the 8th. There's no availability. So let's say we want to come back on the 10th then. So the 10th of June, which is still off peak. So there's 4 business class seats there. So now, as you can see, but the total price, including taxes, fees and carrier charges, is going to be 100,000 Avios points and £1,081.56. This total price includes the companion ticket. So it says here I need an additional 77,119 points to book this ticket. Now I only have 22,881 points, which is what I've saved up within the last, I don't know, 6 months to a year. So I need to buy 77,000 points. Okay, so here is what it looks like when you go to buy Avios, and there's a drop down menu but you can't buy 77,000 points. The points go in increments. So I would have to buy 80,000 points, which is £1,295. So we knew I had to pay £1,082 for the taxes and things like that. But now I have to pay another £1,295 for the Avios points, or the additional Avios points to be eligible to buy the seats. So that is going to cost a total of £2,377 to fly business class from London to Dubai and back for 2 people. So per person, that's going to be about £1,188.50 to fly business class to Dubai and back. So you can see that roughly is kind of similar to what I paid. You're looking around the £2,500 mark. It's obviously cheaper if you do go off peak, but it's not cheap. But that's a quick example showing you how the companion ticket works. So was it worth it? That's a big question. And for me, at the time, it was for my honeymoon and I had never done this before. I think it was worth it because it made for a good experience and something that I wanted to try. I wanted to see what this card was like and experience business class. Now, would I do it again? I don't know. I do have another companion ticket, so I could use it on another business class flight, but I might use it for economy flight, or don't tell Mrs. on the map, we might be walking to our next holiday because man spent so much money on this honeymoon. So as you can see, it's not super cheap and it's not super easy, but if you are interested in flying business class, then this is the best way to do it to save money, in my opinion. I don't think you can save over £1,500 on these business class seats without having the American Express Premium Plus card. So that concludes today's video. It was a bit of a complicated one, but I hope you gathered something useful from it. If you have any questions about Avios points, the American Express credit card, flying business class, then leave a comment below or DM me on Instagram and I'm always happy to help and will reply. As always, don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe to the channel. Till next time, peace!